Uh, in the city, searching for that green. Guerrero Rocho. In between Chris Green fingers, Rugby 2, Big John, Frank, Corey, Joanna all through. Every day we rolling up, puffing it high on that Cali quality. Touching the sky, tune in at 9:30, growing to survive. The Guerrero Bro Show, feeling so alive, living large, cultivating pride. High times every day we ride. We got strains for days, from sativa to kush. Grumpy with the insights, never in a rush. Big John, steady hand, always clutch. Frank keeps it funky, Corey got that touch. YouTube Chronicles, labors of love, in the flow, in the groove. Rise above, hold your with your two hands. And the right, much shit, but we're eating us, close in the sky. All the dad's baby, owing the ass and legs. Right after bed, shut it. The biz. Yeah, smoke clouds, green dreams. Life in between beams. On a different level, climbing high. With the crew, reach for the sky.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a new episode of the Guerrero Grow Show. This is a cannabis community show. This is a garden community show. This is a show of us growers, knowers, and showers. I am your host, Chris Guerrero. We got a special one right now. We got Brandon Russ up in the house. There he is right there. Right there. What's up, Brandon? So I was thinking about Brandon a while back ago because Brandon was one of my first guests on my show on the FCP2. And I wanted to get him back on the show for kind of a reunion show and see what he's been doing for the last, let's say, 4 years since he was not last time he was on my show, but the first time he was on my show to now. So that's why I want to bring him up on here. Let's see what he's been doing, because I know there's a lot of people that are on my channel that I mentioned your name and they didn't know who you were. So I want to make sure they know who you are every time I talk about who you are, and they know who you are. So let the people know who don't know who you are, who you are.
So I'm Brandon Rust. I've been cultivating for over 2 decades now. It's about 25 years. And I study soil agronomy and microbiology. I'm the owner of Full Crop Sciences with one L, formerly Bokashi Earthworks. And, I just do stuff with regenerative agriculture, and I work with NASA Agricultural Technologies. I've got my fingers in a lot of different things, really. I've got a lot of different things going on. We have our dispensary, and our grow is about to open up, so we have a little vertically integrated facility. Nothing major. It's not a huge spot, which is why I did it, because it's manageable with just 1 or 2 people. And so I have I got that going to be opening up, I think, next month now. We've been waiting so long for it to open up. Little 22 lighter facility. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, what's it going to be called?
The dispensary is called Bongazo. So my business partners are Mexican, and we're also in the South Side, which is like the predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. And so we went with a Hispanic name, and Bongazo is like slang for bong hit. So
nice.
That's what we wanted. That's what we did. Went with that name. Yeah. So it's a, we have a dispensary and a grow, and, the same building. So it's all integrated. We don't have to worry about working in a like wholesale market. You know, it's basically farm to consumer. So it's, you know, kind of like how we used to do back in the day when we were trapping. You know,
Oh yeah.
it was you know, farm to table, or you know, some people are still doing their thing, you know, whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I just, you know, it's nothing huge. I'm not trying to take over the market. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just creating another business. You know, I have, you know, Full Crop Science. I have Earthworks Agriculture, my consulting company. Um and so I'm just, you know, diversifying my portfolio, as they say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's always good to do to diversify. Get like you said, have your hands in a bunch of different things because just in case one goes bad, then you got a bunch of other ones to fall onto. So that's always good to keep busy.
Everything's ancillary to each other as well, right? So it's like me
Hmm.
making, you know, probiotic microbes at my place in OKC. I use those in my like grow, you know, the organic fertilizers that I have, the humic and fulvic acids. I use all that stuff too. So it's like I don't know, it just creates a cool ecosystem that I can build everything into. And right now, what we're looking at is farm property out here in Oklahoma, because I'm going to start a organic specialty crop, you know, produce farm. So I'm gonna be growing things like blueberries and raspberries and um, tomatoes and peppers and garlic and stuff like that. And I'm going to be taking advantage of like the agriculture loans, because there's like farm loans which are have much lower interest than like conventional loan, and they can also give you operating expenses, and then you can also take advantage of grant programs. There's tons of them, and it's super easy to get money from the government, especially for regenerative agriculture right now. So I've got like a bunch of stuff. I'm supposed to talk to my attorney this afternoon to see if he wants to go to Dubai to this agriculture expo. So I can go there and speak about the technology. You know, so I don't know how much you know about. You know, years back, 5 years ago. I don't know if I told you this on the last time we were on the show, but I had met Dr. George, who owns NASA Agricultural Technologies, and he developed a fertilizer technology to basically turn like leonardite, oxidized coal, lignite, into, you know, high efficiency humic and fulvic acid fertilizers. And so we've been working on like getting funding and stuff for the technology to build plants. And I don't know. I think
I
Dubai
think I
interesting
think
place.
if I remember correctly, the last time I talked to you, you were having containers that are made from soil, and it was
The NutriGrow pot.
biodegradable. Yes.
Yeah, so we successfully were able to produce the product. However, to do it manually, it doesn't make sense logistically. And so in maybe March or April of this year, I'm hoping to be able to purchase the industrial equipment that I need to do large scale production and manufacturing. And so I know all of the machines that I need to do it. And so, you know, it's one of those things. One of the reasons why I'm also looking at getting this farm property, because I want to be able to make sure I have enough room and there's buildings where I can like operate all of my things, have, and then move my business. Right? Because right now I'm paying a lease. And when I ran
Mhm.
the numbers, I was like, all right, so if I was able to find a property for, let's say, 250 grand, which is really easy to do out here in Oklahoma. It might sound like a lot if you're in places like California and stuff like that, but
No, Humboldt. There's deals like that right now in Humboldt. Everybody's folding up, and there's everything you're saying they got for 250,000, 300,000 acres, all kinds of stuff. Because it's how it is. I don't need to tell you, But yes, we were talking about
I
it.
should do a podcast on that, like because we're gonna be doing this work with. We've already started it. My COO has pretty much put in all the work, but there's this NRCS and EQIP grants, and one of them is a $700 million grant for the regenerative agriculture pilot program. So within this pilot program, there's different things that you could do. Like you could add crop covers, you could use biologicals instead of using chemical pesticides, anything that you can measure. Like you have to go get a farm number and this and that, and you have to apply. But like, dude, you could get like 150 grand, like just for fucking growing food and stuff like that. So it's like they're basically giving you money for providing them with data is basically the exchange. And then like you're going to cover your costs. Like, so if you're like, oh, I need to get a tractor this year, right? Okay, cool, dude. Like that tractor could get paid for, or the seeds or the fertilizer that you're using, whatever it might be. And so there's all these different programs. So right now I'm looking for a property, but the thing is, I'm also moving the business because I ran the numbers. If I were to go take out a farm loan, which includes the loan for the property and operating expenses, I would be paying less than I am than I'm paying rent right now. So it's like, and then if I move
Makes sense.
And then if I physically move to the farm as well, I would eliminate all of the additional bills that go along with my house, right? Because I could either sell my house or I could rent it out. So I'm just looking at things like try to make the best logistical sufficiencies that I can, but I also want to find like the right place as well. I just don't want to jump on the first thing. So I think I'll find what I'm looking for. I'll give it a little bit of time, and then I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna take advantage of farm loans. Gonna take advantage of the grants that are out there. I'm gonna, do crops that I know I can cultivate really easily, with, in greenhouses. So I'm just trying to find the infrastructure, find a place with the infrastructure. The place that I looked at a couple of days ago, it did have like 3 ideal sized buildings, one office building and then like warehousing and like this, for filling orders. And then when we get those machines, and then it also had these massive chicken coops. Like, I guess it was a poultry farm before. So I was like, that's kind of cool. But I wasn't really, trying to do anything with poultry. And then, the house that was there just completely needed to be remodeled. So I was like, this doesn't perfectly fit with what I want. So
yeah, I wouldn't trust a poultry farm only because how hot the ground could be. Everywhere could be nitrogen on the ground, or from all the chicken shit. So I don't know. Like it would be safe to be able to grow anything over there.
I'm sure it would be great. Chicken manure is a great fertilizer, especially for nitrogen. But I don't think these things were like free roaming the property. I think they had these giant, like, dude, these things were probably 200 foot long.
Oh, geez.
And like, I don't know, maybe 20 feet wide.
Yeah, the big ones.
It was all built out like things in them, and like, yeah, it was like, I guess they were doing like quail and chickens and ducks and turkeys and stuff. But that's not really, like, I raise chickens.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
You're not trying to do that? What? Why not?
Well, I mean, it would be. I could, but like I said, all together, that's not really what I was looking for. I'm looking for more infrastructure on like the hoop house side and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like pre-constructed greenhouses would be ideal because, again, I'm gonna be growing food.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's why I was wondering because, I would think, why would somebody move? Like, it seems like doing that's a money making. You can make money off of poultry. Why would they move unless they're trying to get bigger? Are they trying to get? Was the people trying to get bigger, or were they?
The only thing the realtor that I talked to while I was there said was that they had written a couple of books and they were like but I think they just were old, and then they're just like, hey, we're old, so we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. If that was it, then yeah, that's whoever jumps in there could just start making money off of poultry. Yeah, 'cause it's not like something that the need doesn't go away.
No, but it's just not, that's
Not
not
for
what I
you.
want
Not
to
for you.
do.
No, I don't.
I'll grow some plants. I mean, I'll
I
have
like
chickens
plants
on the
better.
farm, but
Yeah.
like it'll be for personal, I'll have some personal chickens.
Yeah, I love chickens. Chickens are great, and I love to eat chickens. They're great too, and love their eggs
Yeah, well, you know what
all
the
the way
really
around.
cool thing about chickens are is what I've noticed is, because I have like 2 acres of property. And so I would let my chickens roam during the daytime, then put them up at night. And you don't really have to feed them much if you just let them fucking roam. You know what I mean? If your chickens are just doing chicken stuff, dude, they're just eating bugs and scavenging, and then like you can always feed, like if you've got leftover food, they'll eat anything. They'll literally
Hmm.
eat fucking anything. Chickens are like crazy scavengers.
They would eat us if they could.
Oh, well, if they were big enough, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
they'd
sure
rip
they would
into
make the
us.
attempt.
Yeah, we'd be having to run from them, velociraptors, little velociraptors. Man,
Yeah, they're like
they're
little horses.
horrible when it comes to that. But yeah,
They're good
so
recyclers. They eat
yeah.
bugs.
So what are you smoking on right now? What's your
Uh,
strain of the week that you're smoking on?
I'm smoking on some Blueberry Train Mac Skunk Cut, which is my like really skunky cut of Blueberry Train Mac, which is really an outlier. It doesn't match up the typical profile at all. That's why I kept it, because I was totally unexpected. And then I have the Gas, which is bred by Capulator, which is Starfighter crossed to Mac.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I saw that, and I remember too. You are a bong smoker as well, which is awesome. The fellow bong smoker. So yeah, here's to your success on your new venture. Because I
Yeah,
hope you get it,
cheers.
man. I hope you get your
Well,
property and
we will. It will. It might take a little bit of time, but it's the thing too is I just want to make sure that I don't like overdo everything and get because again I do have this thing that's going to start. We're going to be opening in in March, and so I'm going to need to make sure that the last thing I need to do is get soil in there, because I didn't know when we were going to open. So I just got to get my soil, which is super easy because I make that. Um, and then what else? And then we're gonna be start growing in there. So I want to make sure that I can do all the things that I need to do. Make sure everything on full crop is good, and make sure that we get that all set up right. And so it'll be. I don't want to be like moving and starting, so I'm gonna have to balance everything. I'll figure it out. I'll just, I'm not really like worried about it. I just kind of move. I'm in the moment, stay in the moment, not really worry about things, let things play out how they're going to play out.
heck yeah. So yeah, man. So I got this right here. I'm excited about. How would you suggest I grow this? Is this an indoor plant or an outdoor plant?
I mean, you can grow them indoor or outdoor. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. They're not like out unless you put them out really early. Um, those things are a little more short and stocky, so they're not going to get like too great. They're not going to get insanely big. But it might depend. If you get the Black Lime Reserve side, it'll go nutty.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't really matter if you grow them inside or outside, though, dude. They'll do good either way. The BLR really creates a lot of mold resistance, so we've never had any problems with mildew with the BLR cross.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm not really. The only time I get mold on my flower is when the worms attack.
Oh yeah. So we out when I'm doing outdoor, I have to make sure that I'm applying BT in
Oh yeah.
spring, early in spring, and then they come back in uh starting around like September. They start really coming September and October. And so you have to remember, like, there's specific times of the year that those things come in. So all those bud worms, those cut worms, I know, and it's like they're poop because they'll poop too, and then that molds, and then they'll chew through stuff and kill stuff and make wounds in the plant, and it gets worse. Those things suck,
Yeah,
but Bacillus thuringiensis works to kill those things pretty good.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I learned the hard way. So this year, I thought I got smart, and I thought I covered up my plants with the netting in time. And I was paying attention. I was paying attention. I was looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, looking at it. But what I should have done was should have lifted it up, went through the buds, and looked at it even closer. I didn't do that. One day, I look and I see a worm right on the bud, and it just shock and horror just shot through my body, and I was just like, no. And I pinched it through the netting, killed it right there. And then I did the thing, and I went over there, undid the drawstring, fucking zipped it
Yeah.
up, unzipped it.
Outdoor can be unforgiving, man. It's you versus
Uh,
nature.
yeah.
And
And I started
nature.
pulling worms after worms after worms after worms after worms out like that. And yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, so for this last season, all my outdoor, I just did breeding projects outside. So preserving the flower wasn't like super important, but I didn't have worms too bad. They were here and there. I pulled them off here and there, but overall it wasn't too bad. But I also, I was hitting them with the with the bacillus and the Beauveria and like all these other microbes. So that always helps out, keeps things kind of clean.
Yeah, I didn't think I had to with those ones because they were in the netting because I put it on there when the buds were like this big. You know what I mean? I put the netting on. It was probably like June, beginning of June, maybe end of maybe it was beginning of July. I put it on. Maybe July. It was beginning of July.
Yeah.
July or August. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's right around there. So I thought it was safe. I thought it was safe.
Yeah.
No,
That sucks.
no, because my plants were so freaking healthy that it was fighting them off. Usually pieces die after because those worms are dicks. They're not just like they're not like a grasshopper where the grasshopper will sit there, eat the leaf, and be like, and just eat the whole leaf and everything, and it just eats the whole damn thing. No, they go like this, start digging, just going everywhere, and don't even care where they're going. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even care if they would just eat one bud, just sit there in one spot, just eat the whole bud right there. That's fine. No, they're like making tunnels and everything, pooping all the way through. So yeah, so I went back and I seen that how much. So I had to make the decision. I chopped a lot of it down and saved the little buds, and and grew the little buds out, and they came out to about like grenade sized buds and stuff. Yeah, it sucks, but like you said, that's what happens when you grow outdoors. Yeah, it's unforgiving, like you said.
Yeah,
So
dude. Mother Nature. That's why, like, again, I use those microbe spores, dude, and that's what keeps me because like I do food here too. So this year I'm gonna go and do a bunch of peppers and tomatoes because I didn't do a lot of peppers and a lot of tomatoes last year. So I kind of rotate every year. But I just planted a bunch of potatoes in the hoop house. Um, and I've already got garlic, chives, and onions planted. Because I do those like at the end of the year, like before winter time. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I got a bunch of peppers as well. So
Yeah.
that's what's going in right now because you got to start peppers now. You got to start your peppers now. They're slow growers, they're slow germinators, everything. And then by the time summer hits, you'll have nice, good sized plants and stuff, and you'll have a good harvest. But yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Grow-
I think that the space that I usually reserve in the greenhouse, I usually just do a couple, but I'm gonna like put rows in there this year. So
Let's go.
I'm gonna fill everything up a little bit more. So I've got a little small greenhouse, like a tube pipe greenhouse or whatever. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna be able to germinate a lot of stuff in that little greenhouse as opposed to taking up space in my house.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready. And I've got a ton of stuff too. I got so much stuff to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oklahoma is a really good place to grow. I got family. My family's from that area: Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri area. That's where my family originates from. So I know that it is a good farming community. That's my like I said before. My family came here during the 30s, during the Dust Bowl, and they moved out to California to the Watsonville area to farm there. So yes, my family is the grapes of wrath. uh, they came out here and they did the farming out here. They had gardens and they worked on people's farms and all that stuff. In the area where they live, they grow artichokes. They grow broccoli, lettuce, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's a wonderful place to be from, the Oklahoma area. And then I got a really good friend, THC Garage, that is also a breeder. He does the Mexican IBL, the red Panama Red. He's doing Panama Red runs crosses and stuff. It's pretty cool. I think I introduced you to him the last time that you were on. You should really meet him. He's a really good dude. Really good dude. So what else has been going on? What else you got? What else is up with you? What are you doing this year for your seeds? What are you gonna be doing this year?
I'm just running through some of the stuff that I already made. Like I've got some stuff that's being tested right now. I've got a bunch of stuff like I've got some F4 Blueberry Train Max that are popped right now. I've got some Limelight. I'm doing, popping some of my older seeds, going back to some stuff like, doing some Limarilla IBLs. I have a bunch of them in the thing back there. That's why I keep looking back there. I've got, what else do I got? I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of stuff going already right now. And I run through stuff a lot. I've been popping a lot of seeds because I've got I've got a couple of small tents, and I can rotate like things through them all the time. And then like if I find anything that I like, I can go and run it back in the big beds. So it's like I don't know, it's fun. I can keep a lot of different things around and keep things rotating through, testing stuff out. I've got one tent right now that is the ChemDog crossed to Starfighter Mac, and I'm making F2s of that because I didn't have much pollen left on the to make like a bunch of seeds from the Starfighter Mac male. So I was like, oh well, I'm gonna hit this Chem D, and so I did that. I didn't get a ton of seeds. I kept those all for myself, and I ran. I've been running some. I'm about to harvest in like, I don't know, maybe another week, and dude, they turned out awesome. It was way different than what I was expecting. I was expecting like chem, sour, gas stuff, but I got like a super bright sweetness and like kind of jackfruit nose on them. And so I'm actually making F2s right now so I can increase the seed volume on that. And then, most of the work that I've been doing is really with the Blueberry Train Mac. So I've got a couple of different variants. I have the skunk cut, the herbal cut, the crinkle cut mom. Those all came from the F2 populations. I have one selection from the F3 population that I really liked, that I have. And I just been running, I just been going through the different line work that I have in that particular line, so I have two different F3s from the crinkle cut line, and then I have an F4, a bunch of F4s that I got a ton of different stuff, so I'm just looking through the populations, selecting out the best things, and kind of trying to narrow down, dial in, specific characteristics as I go. So that's been my main thing, but I'm going back to the lime stuff too, the lime Marilla, which is Gorilla Glue 4 Black Lime Reserve. So I'll be doing a bunch of that this year as well. But right now I still have some of the chem crosses that are testing. The Berry Bad Dog, which is the Blueberry Train Mac. It's Chem Dog cross the Blueberry Train Mac, cross back to Blueberry Train Mac, and those I'm testing right now. And what else do I have? I have a ChemD BX. So ChemDog cross to ChemDog Black Lime Reserve. And I haven't started those yet, but I still need to test those. And then I just have, some, just running through stuff like always.
Oh, you're nice. Nice. Is there anything that is a new breeder other than yourself that you've been trying their work and seeing what their thing is?
No.
Anybody out there? Anybody out there? No.
No, I mean, I know there's a ton of people doing great work, but look, I've got my own thing that I gotta focus on my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, this is why I don't want to breed. This is exactly why I don't want to breed. Yeah. Is because I don't want to smoke the same thing all the time. I want to I don't want to breed. I don't want to keep clones. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to grow different stuff every single time. I want to see all the plants. I want to see everything I could grow.
Yeah.
I'm going old school right now because I can't see what they brought to it, because it was so long ago when I was smoking that stuff. I barely remember it. I remember Trainwreck because Trainwreck was so prolific, and it was so strong of a terp profile that I can't not remember it. So
yeah, Trainwreck's great. I love Trainwreck.
Yeah, love it too.
Blueberry Train Mac. Trainwreck is in there, and that's one of the, it's one of the more dominant characteristics.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Anything with Trainwreck in it is dominant, and it's wonderful. I love Trainwreck. I love the high of it. I love everything about it. It's just that it's just when you got like 4 or 5 pounds to smoke of it, it gets tiring of smoking it. So you only need to grow one plant of it. Uh, One plant with Trainwreck will get you through the whole year. It's a
I don't
good
know.
one.
I smoke a lot of it, and like, but like, so our old blueberry train wreck, but it's different than what train wreck is. So it has that profile of train wreck, but it has added nuances. So it's very sweet berry forward. Sometimes you get this
Oh, nice.
like creamy vanilla berry
Yeah.
forward part, and then it has that train wreck, but it's on the back end. So it's almost like the train wreck pushes those sweet berry notes forward, and it's a little different. It's nuanced, and also what I look for is I look for the blue coloration, right? So where you get those dark violet blue hues through the nice green and you know trichome laden things. So that way it's not like, you know what I'm talking about? You get those nice colors in there where it's more like streaking. It's not like
Yep.
the actual inflorescence is changing colors, but you're just getting the like these nuances of these different hues. And that's what I look for. That's part of the blue and the in the variety is those hues that I look for. So that way the flower has that kind of nuanced look to it.
Yeah, I grew this year a it was called hold on, it was called Jesus, where is it at? Totally forgot what it's called. Um Not Groovy Dreams. And it has Blue Dream, Santa Cruz Cut, and Supreme, and it was from Nerds Genetics, and I know exactly what you're talking about because it had that bluish tinge to it, um, and the blue kind of a little bit of blueberry hazy kind of flavor in it too. It's gas because it has the Mac in it. The Mac it has the Larry OG Mac and uh, 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 garlic GMO. So yeah, so just what you're saying and shit. Wonderful stuff. That sounds awesome too. I would love to smoke that, dude. What you were smoking, what you said that you had right there, I would love to smoke that. That sounds like it'd be fire.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty nice, dude. I'm not disappointed at all. I keep it around for a reason, you know. It's a hard plant to hold. It's a hard plant because it's so finicky. That skunk cut at least is really finicky. There's a bunch of them that like like the crinkle cut isn't as finicky. Neither is the blueberry haze pheno, but like the herbal cut and the skunk cut, like they if they're not getting adequate light or getting a lot of nitrogen, then they'll like want to start flowering, even if you have them in veg. So they're very finicky in that. So like have to maintain proper nutrients and lighting with them, or they will not. And pot size, they do not tolerate being root bound at all.
oh man, yeah.
But it's just
Not a lot
those
of plants too.
specific ones which were outliers out of the whole. They were outliers out of the populations that I was like, dude, I got to keep these.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. When I because the first time I grew seeds, not the first time I grew seeds, but the first seeds that after uh after COVID, like when COVID happened, I started to grow because I didn't want to go to my cousins anymore. My cousin was the grower. I would go always for 20 years. I would go to his house I would dig the holes. I would mix the soils. I would fill the holes. He would plant the clones and everything, or plant the seedlings or whatever that he was doing at the time. That's what he would do, and he would take care of it. I would come back and do all the groundwork. I would come back and do all the fertilizing. I would come back and do all the different stuff. So I never had to worry about growing at my house. He was always growing at his house. So it is awesome to finally be able to choose what I wanted to grow. And that's why I'm like, I want to grow this, I want to grow that, I want to grow this, I want to grow everything, because he was growing he was growing a lot of skunk, like you said. He was growing green crack, he was growing snow cap, he was growing uh, 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 Mendocino perps. He was growing UK cheese. So he was growing all those, and he was growing it for years. And then I would be going over there to do work for him, and then he would give me a couple ounces, so I wouldn't need every weekend. I'd get a couple ounces. I'd get gas money, I'd get cash, and I'd get a couple ounces. So it was great for 20 years. And then COVID hit, and he has Lyme disease. And I'm like, I got family, I got kids that are going to school. They bringing home COVID, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go over there and give them COVID. So I was like, I gotta grow.
Yeah. Well,
Ever since then, I
yeah.
want to grow everything.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing too, is like, it's really different now than it was 20 years ago or 25 years ago, because a lot of people, they weren't growing from seed. You know, everybody was after exclusive cuts, and crews like held on to that shit. You know what I mean? Like, people weren't just giving out stuff like they do now. You can just go buy something. You couldn't go buy a cut. Like, there was no price on a lot of these things. People weren't willing to let them go in some instances, just because they didn't want to have their like territory encroached on. It's like, hey, we're the only people that have this shit. So but you know, I've grown so many different varieties over the course of my cultivation career, and you know, I'm always looking for that, like, that new thing, like something that's different than everything else. And I feel like oftentimes, because I stay kind of in my own lane, and I like, because I don't care about, I know what I like, right? And like, it's cool. I'm not saying that the modern stuff or anything else is bad or anything, but like, I've been pretty much growing the same types of stuff for my whole career, you know, and it's just my lane. It's like what I like. And so, in that regard, I think I do bring something a little bit different, because most of my weed is like just really, you know, it's like dank weed. Like, it's earthy, it's stanky, it's loud. I love it. You know, and a lot of it's not too modern. The most modern thing that I have in some of my crosses is that Mac, or that Starfighter cross to Mac. But most of the stuff is a little older.
Yeah, I do like the old stuff, and I do like the new stuff, but I've been growing a lot of the new stuff for the last 3 years, a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
So now I can't see what everything has to offer. So that's why I was trying to get the NL5, because I was talking to Coot, and I asked him, I said, so which one should I grow? Should I grow the NL5? And he goes, well, NL5 is in everything. So to me, that's like, yeah, grow the NL5. So now I'm going to be looking for the NL5. People have told me where to get the seeds, but I'd rather get the cut, like, from the person, whoever had it.
Yeah. I know Green Bodie has a cut of Northern Lights. I don't know if it's the NL5. I think Todd McCormick has a bunch of different NL varieties. I'd have to ask Greg. I'm sure he has some NL stuff because he's, the guy. But yeah, and like, I make new stuff all the time and I grow out all my new stuff, but my new stuff is usually crossed with older stuff. Like, if I'm doing something like Trainwreck Blueberry MK Ultra, that from
Yeah, that sounds good.
like 2003 when that was made. So I'm taking older genetics and kind of like mixing them with like modern classics. Like Gorilla Glue to me is like, it's not old school, but it's also not new school. It's like in an area between, like halfway. I was like 10 years, 11 years into, growing before Gorilla Glue ever hit, so it was like, for me, that wasn't like, oh, this is old school. But like when you talk about things like Trainwreck, which I work a lot with, when you talk about things like the sours, the sour OG and the sour D,
Oh yeah,
the Afghan
yeah,
bull rider.
yeah. Exactly. Shit that didn't have a name. Really, it was green bud. When you got
Well,
it, it was green bud. Is it green bud or brown bud? Is it
well, I
fire or is it
mean,
not fire?
it wasn't like that after I started growing. So when I was 18, um, I met, the guys that ended up becoming my mentors. And so it's like when I'm like, I knew the difference between chronic and, dirt weed, but it wasn't really like, I really didn't know until like I got into the know. Like, because these guys took me under their wing and they're like, this is like how it's really done, And it's like, oh shit, this weed is way better than any of the fucking weed that I have ever smoked before. And at that time I was like, I'm thinking I've smoked some fucking fire weed. But like when you look at a comparative analysis of like, okay, well, this is like, these guys have been doing this for years, and they're bringing me on, they're showing me their product, what they're doing, and it's just a different ball game. It was a different ball game for me at that point, from what I was doing prior.
Yes. Right now, I'm going to be smoking some Pice Scream.
Pice Scream.
Yes.
Was that
It's
from
really...
Dutch? Is that Dutch Blooms?
No, I think it's Skunk Tech.
Oh, Skunk Tech.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was smoking some what was it? Hold on. What was it that I was smoking earlier that you would know? TK Headband, Doc 15, Moon, what's it that what is it? Carbon Candy. And what was the other one I was smoking? But yeah, that's what I'm smoking right now. It's my friend Corey's Indoor. He grows fire. I think you met him before. He was on the FCP. Okay. Corey grows.
Again, I've seen and grown a bunch of modern stuff too, and I've worked with a bunch of farms, like consulting. So all types of breeders and stuff. That there's a couple of things that stick out, which was Permanent Marker was one of the more modern varieties that I really liked. Another one is Super Boof. But the high on it is kind of lackluster, but it does have such a great nose and such a good flavor on it. Like, it's good. There's
really Super Boof right here.
It's really good. It's really good smoking weed. If you're somebody that just likes to smoke weed and you're like a joint smoker or something like that, it's great for that. But for me, as like a bong, the reason why I smoke bong loads is because like I want to smoke like a good quantity really fast, get that fucking, that rush, that little burst of anxiety or whatever. The Super Boof doesn't do that, but it's great smoke. It's got a really good flavor. There was another breeder out here in Oklahoma, Concentrated Genetics, that had some crosses. He had a GMO cross called Deep Deuce Daryl, just like a GMO. I can't remember what the genetics, excuse me, were on it, but Really great. But it's like I have like Chem D in my stable, and it's like I have that growing in my beds, and I have the Chem Dog Cross the Black Lime Reserve that I'm growing, and I have. Oh man, I gotta go.
Oh wait, I wanted to tell you one thing. If you like Super Boof, you need to try Cranebow. Cranebow is 10 times louder, way louder. When I was over at a conference and stuff, everybody was asking me what I was smoking because it smelled so orangey. It was ridiculous. Go find it. I think it's from Skunk Tech.
Yeah,
Go check it out. You'll fucking,
yeah,
it's so loud of
yeah. I do have to
orange.
go. I have to go though because I gotta call my attorney was calling, so we gotta talk
Have
about this.
a
Goodbye thing.
wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, peace out, guys.
You have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Peace out.